Hello everybody, my name is Barry Schwartz. This is the Search Buzz video recap. This is the news we covered over the past week at the Search Engine Roundtable at seroundtable.com. Today is Friday, October 2nd. Thanks for tuning in. We have a lot to discuss. Apologize for my cold. For some reason, earlier this week it was like 75 degrees and now it's like 40 degrees outside. So the change of weather. Anyway, we'll get started right now. Earlier this week we reported about basically a mass banning as well as a mass banning warning to advertisers of the Google AdWords network, that Google was sending out these emails saying you have been banned, or you're being warned that you might be banned in the future if for having poor quality landing pages. We reported this on Sunday. Since then, we've been waiting for Google to reply to our request about what's going on. Google really hasn't provided any significant response. They did just post last night, AdWords Advisor and the Webmaster Role thread, a long detailed post explaining Google's policies and that they've been banning forever anybody who has these poor landing quality pages on multiple levels. They specifically said, let me just quote this for you. These are final warning suspensions only were applied to sites with multiple violations which were manually reviewed to ensure that our policies were being applied correctly. Honestly, I don't think they possibly could have. I don't think it was possible for them to manually review so many sites. It seems like on Sunday and over the weekend, tons and tons of sites or advertisers were penalized and banned from, or warned that they're going to be banned from using the AdWords network to advertise their sites. I just think something's wrong. And I don't know if Google knows there's some probably type of algorithm that's messed up or something, but I honestly don't think that this was done properly. We have more information about this. If you've been impacted, you probably want to join the people at Webmaster World who have been discussing this. I think there's about 160 people who have chimed in so far. We have a post about that today on October 2nd at seroundtable.com. You can learn more information about that there. So AdWords always has these types of little bugs. About a week ago, we reported that there was a bunch of AdWords accounts were hit by this message in accounts, including some of my clients' accounts, that said low share of voice. Basically, it showed you a warning that you are not spending enough or not advertising enough with AdWords, and you have a low share of voice, meaning your ad's not reaching as many people as it should be. After a week or so, Google replied saying, yes, this is a bug, we fixed it, it's a reporting issue, it did not impact any of your quality score, but it was a reporting issue. So we have a post about that on October 1st at seroundtable.com. If you were infected, which you probably were, and you want to join the discussion about it, just go there. On September 29th, we reported about a Google image search update, which seemed to hit earlier this week, Google. And the image update, people are pretty much not happy with it. Back in February, we reported another image update, which was probably the last major image update at Google. And people were very happy with the February update. But with this new update, a lot of people are complaining that their images aren't being showed up, or it looks like they rolled back to the previous negative type of thing where a lot of images were getting filtered by the moderate search filter, which is basically on by default. So if you are having problems with your images in Google Images, and if you have noticed this update, you might want to check out Threads. You can learn more about this September 29th at seroundtable.com. I think the big news this week from Google was that they have revamped their search options. Basically what they've done is they've cleaned up a bunch of the verticals, including web search, and they made that you click on the search option at the top and it adds all those search options like the refinements and stuff like that you can do. Google has added more search refinements, including search refinements to find results in the past hour or a specific date range. They also added more shopping sites, fewer shopping sites. Do you want to show more shopping sites or fewer shopping sites in your search results? Do you want to see pages that you visited or have not visited in the past? Do you want to see books, blogs, or news? So they added those types of refinements to the search options, the show options thing. Also, they've cleaned up a bit of their other properties to work with that as well. So that's probably the biggest news that Google released announced this week, I believe. We have a post about it on October 2nd, and there's some good quality links in that post to other quality blog posts out there. So if you want to take a look at that, it's definitely useful for searchers. October 2nd at seroundtable.com. Last week I told you about how Google was showing these deeper, more richer site links under the search results. They came up for forums and blog posts typically. So September, early, like in the middle of this week, we wrote a blog post about it on October 1st, but early this week, Google announced on their official Google blog that they are now showing what they're calling, I believe, forum site links. And that's what we discussed last week, that we've been noticing the search results were basically these links under the main snippet, which had 4 additional links with information about dates and number of posts and stuff like that. So if you did a search and Google found multiple matches with the same domain within the same website, it would show you these other matches and show you more relevant information regarding those matches so that you could click on the most relevant search result that you think is most relevant to you. Google announced this on September 30th, I believe. We wrote about it on October 1st. It's pretty nice. I like this, and I discussed it a lot last week, so you probably caught that video as well. The next thing is that Bing has added new options to their homepage. If you look on the left-hand side of their options, they have features like images, videos, etc. You can actually go to their vertical engines. What they've added, here's the old one. You see it? They have right here, images, video, shopping, news, maps, and travel. Well, if you scroll up and you look at the new one, they've added 2 more options. They've added visual search, as well as more. So they've tried to really pump the visual search. They want people to start, I guess, using visual search, which is a pretty cool tool. We discussed that a couple weeks ago, and it's nice to see that they actually added it to their homepage. If you want to look at the actual screenshots, we have a post about it on October 1st at SEOroundtable.com. Yesterday, Google has updated their Webmaster Tools verification process. They made 3 significant changes to that. The first is if you use the meta tag verification process. If your Google account, which was verified under, had an email address, if you change that email address, back in the old days, it would actually unverify your website if you use the meta tag verification. Now, it's no longer, the meta tag verification is no longer tied directly to that email address. So if you change it, it's not a problem. 2 is that if you use the HTML verification process, a lot of people ran into the issue where Google automatically checked to see if your 404 pages actually returned a server status of 404. What people normally do when they're setting up websites is they forget and they don't return a proper server status code for their 404 not found pages. And Google basically forced people to actually fix that issue in order to validate their website. The problem was a lot of people came into the Webmaster forum saying, hey, it's not validating, what's verifying, what's wrong? And the answer always tends to be, you have to make sure your 404 pages are correct. So for Google to reduce the confusion and allow it to be easier for webmasters to actually set up their verification files via the HTML file method, they removed that 404 server status requirement. Number 3 is on the same page of the HTML verification code, they actually cleaned up that look, made it a little bit more streamlined, and made it easier to use. The problem is there are some sites that have automatic Google verification processes, and such as Google Sites, and those types of systems are currently offline, are not able to verify. Google is working on addressing the issue, and hopefully it will be resolved soon. The Google Sandbox. We're not talking about the caffeine update. We're not talking about their development environments. We're talking about a thing that people webmasters used to talk about, SEOs and webmasters used to talk about, where a new site, if you built a new site, it used to take a long time for Google to trust that site, and basically webmasters call that Google putting a website into a sandbox where they sat and wait until Google let it out of the sandbox to rank well. This is something that went way back to April 2004. That's when it was very popular. It's been discussed a lot over the years, 2004, 2005, and even into 2006. But since then, it's really, people don't really talk about it much. What we did recently was ask back in February people if they still believe in the sandbox. We have some responses. The question specifically was, Google Sandbox, is it US-based or worldwide? So 49% said the Google Sandbox is worldwide. It's an issue that affects all Google properties. 18% of respondents said it no longer exists. It once existed, the Google Sandbox. Now today, it doesn't exist anymore. 14% said obviously it does exist, but it only affects US sites. 12% said it never existed ever. And the 6% said other answers. It's interesting because we really don't often hear about that, the Google Sandbox anymore. A lot of people don't talk about it as much. But there are some threads popping up here and there about it, so I thought I'd post the poll. And if you want to take a look at the poll with more links to about what the Google Sandbox was and more history about it, definitely take a look at SEOroundtable.com and go to the September 30th post in the archives. Google has once again changed their Google product search base, whatever we call it. Remember way back when Google launched their product search, they called it Frugal. Then it was named Google Product Search, Google Shopping, Google Base, and now Google Base has been renamed to Google Merchant Center. Basically, if you wanted to submit products to Google Shopping or Product Search or whatever it's called, you would use Google Base. You would go to Google Base, you would upload your product data sheets, Google would include it into Google Shopping or Google Product Search. Now, Google said they're making a new place where Google Base users would upload their product-specific items to Google, and it would be the Google Merchant Center at google.com, I think, /merchants. Doesn't mean Google Base is going away. Google Base is still there if you want to upload things such as, I believe, like real estate jobs, real estate properties, jobs, vehicles, stuff like that. But if you want to submit products like, I don't know, projectors, video cameras, iPhones, you would submit it through the Google Merchant Center. The change has gone into effect. The migration process is fairly simple. If you have any problems, you can look for more information at our blog post at September 30th at SEOroundtable.com. So there's some news about Google Maps expanding their ads and their logos and their quick icons in the Google Maps property to include fast food chains, coffee shops, hotels, travel agents, stuff like that, to sprinkle those types of icons all over the map. It's interesting because we haven't seen that much. We've seen certain elements where you could actually upload a special icon. If you have a Google AdWords local business listing and you are promoting that using the Google AdWords system, you can actually upload a special icon. I've done that for my website, and I have a picture of how it works and how the process works in our blog post on September 27th. If you want to take a look at that, but we haven't seen Google really, go big time with spreading ads all over the actual map itself. We have seen examples of the ads on the left-hand side, not in the maps, but on the left-hand side or at the bottom, showing little icons, but nothing in the effect of showing ads directly in the middle of the thing. So we'll see how this plays out, how they go around it. It's supposedly going to come to Google Maps, maybe just Australia Google Maps, but it's supposed to come in the next few weeks. I guess we'll take a look and see more information as it starts to come out. So I posted a blog post. Basically, I found this person complaining that when you viewed satellite imagery of New Delhi, I think in India, what you had was a little fog over the map. I don't know if you can see that or not, but there's basically a little fog over the map, and it's pretty interesting how that works. I don't know why it's there, but you can actually see over in this area, it's not foggy, but over here it is. Somebody commented that it might be pollution. What Google said is they're going to go ahead and look into it. I haven't seen an update to that yet, but we have a post about this on October 1st at SEOroundtable.com. Just found it interesting. There's like a fog over the actual Google Maps of New Delhi. I have a link to it. You can check it out yourself at SEOroundtable.com on October 1st. So last week I told you about a thread I spotted from a supposed Yahoo employee who was posting basically discounts and stuff like that in the Digital Point forums. I went ahead and reported this to Yahoo. Yahoo said it's probably not a Yahoo employee. Then I spoke with the owner of Digital Point Forums, who said it came from a Yahoo IP address. It also the person had a Yahoo Inc. email address. So I sent the information over to Yahoo. They confirmed that it's an actual employee. But I don't think they had, rights from Yahoo to actually go ahead and post such a thing. I asked Yahoo for feedback if they're going to go ahead and take action against this person or not. They never got back to me, so I'm not sure what's going on. But we do have more information about this on September 29th. So you just got to be careful who's out there in the forums and make sure to do your due diligence to make sure they are legit before you send any information about your campaigns or your billing or whatever it might be over to these people. We had three logos from Google this week. One is to go ahead and wish themselves a happy birthday, their 11th birthday. You can note is the double L for 11. It's really two ones. Happy birthday, Google. That was their 11th birthday on September 27th. There's obviously some controversy over when their birthday is. Is it September 27th or September 7th? And they've changed several times over the course of the years, but it's pretty much been stuck with the 27th for the past few years. Also, this is another logo they had on, I think it was September 28th, for Confucius. I'm not pronouncing that right. Here you can see the logo over there at the bottom, and that was on Monday. And another logo for Gandhi was today for his 140th birthday. You can see that. Basically, today is his 140th birthday. Google's wishing him a happy birthday and trying to get people to be aware of what he's done in the past. So those are the different Google logos we had this week. The Search Roundtable had a Yom Kippur theme up for Monday, and that's pretty much it. Thank you so much for listening to the Search Buzz video recap. Again, my name is Barry Schwartz. This is the past news we covered over at the past week at Search Roundtable at seroundtable.com. Today is Friday, October 2nd. Everyone have a great weekend, and we'll see you guys next week.